In today's video, I'm doing a reverse sear Wagyu ribeye steak on a Pit Boss 1600 pellet grill. Hey, this is Ricer from Dead Broke Barbecue, Wisconsin, and welcome back to the channel. But if you're new here, we try to help you enhance and amplify your backyard barbecue fun. Doing a Wagyu steak can be a little bit more intimidating because it costs more than what you get at the grocery store, but trust me, it's not as hard as it seems. Just run it and make sure you're checking those internal temperatures as you do it. So grab a cowboy cut and your grill grates, Chris. We're gonna amplify some backyard barbecue fun. This 100% Wagyu cowboy cut ribeye steak has been salt brined for 48 hours. Now this is gonna be good, and I wanna thank Draft Family Farm for sending me this beautiful cut. And if you're looking to get your very own cowboy cut, check the links below. It's worth it. Now when you take a fresh cut steak and you salt brine it, it's gonna give you this really nice deep mahogany color. A big thick cut like this, it's best to reverse sear it. It doesn't matter if it's Wagyu or if it's Angus. You're just gonna get a much better final product compared to direct grilling it. So try a reverse sear, and I'm doing it on a pellet grill, and I'm gonna sear it off with some grill grates. So what am I waiting for? Let's head out to the Pit Boss 1600 and get this thing under some smoke. Now it's Saturday and it's beautiful out. This is gonna be one heck of a lunch. Let's get the 1600 fired up. Turn the power on, and we're gonna turn it up to 225 degrees, and we'll open up the lid and get all the white smoke out of it. And I've told you this before, but you don't want any of that white smoke in the chamber because it can get combustible. You don't want to risk blowing the lid off. And for today's cook, I'm using Lumberjack 100% oak pellets. We'll just top it off a little bit. This is the white smoke that I'm talking about. Make sure it gets all out of the chamber, but you're gonna hear that afterburner kick in, and then you know you're getting close to closing up that lid and start preheating this pellet grill. Baby Huey's burning clean now, so we'll close up the lid and we'll set a timer for about 10 minutes, and then I'll bring you back when it's time to put in that Wagyu cowboy cut. The Pit Boss 1600 is preheated to 225 degrees. Let's get to cooking. This is gonna be good. I'm using the middle shelf today, and we're gonna place this cowboy cut just left of the fire pot. Right about here. Now you're gonna wanna insert a probe so you can read those internals. Now it's very important that you get your probe in the center. Just take your probe, lay it right on top, get the center, pinch it off. Plus, make sure you're going right through the center in this direction, and then just stick her through. Right about there should be fine. And I'm gonna set a timer for 1 hour and just monitor my signals. And once this cowboy cut hits an internal of 80 degrees, I'm gonna flip it over. I'll bring you back when it's time to flip it. I've reached an internal temperature of 81 degrees. Let's flip over this cowboy cut. Heck yeah, I love the color on it. It's looking good. Grab it, flip it right over. Get this side. Starting to get that nice smoky looking color on it too. Now the reason why I'm cooking on this middle rack is that I don't want any of the radiant heat coming up from the fire pot. Now for this last part, I'm gonna set a timer for another hour. I wanna reach up to that internal temperature of 120 degrees. Then I'm gonna put in my grill grates and we're gonna get this Wagyu cowboy cut seared off. So I'll catch you in about an hour. Or maybe you'll catch me. I've reached that 120 degrees. Now let's get that cowboy steak seared up. At this point, I take some paper towel, pat it off dry, add a little bit of black pepper to it, and then foil it while my grill grates are coming up to temp. This certainly has some smoky goodness added to it. That's beautiful. I'm using my grill grates today, but don't worry, I plan to do a couple big thick ribeyes using the griddle eventually. First, I want to take out this middle shelf and then just place my grill grates right over the top of the fire pot. We're gonna close up the lid, and I'm gonna turn the Pit Boss up to high to preheat these grill grates. They're like a heat sink. We want these to get at least 500 degrees before we start searing up that cowboy steak. Now it's gonna take about 10 to 15 minutes for the Pit Boss to get up to high, so I'll bring you back when it's time to sear up this Wagyu cowboy steak. I'm pushing 500 degrees on the Pit Boss 1600. Let's go ahead and check out our grill grates. Now there is a little bit more smoke coming out of here, obviously because we've turned the Pit Boss 1600 to max. And I'm gonna use my ThermoWorks infrared gun to check out the temperatures on those grates. Okay, so we're reading 530 some over on this side. This is gonna be our hotter end. We get over here, it's gonna get down in the 400s. So we're gonna put that cowboy over on this side of the grates. And I made up a little bit of beef tallow, and we're gonna use that for on top of our grates. And we'll just go ahead and put a little bit on right here. Just get this on here and melt it up a little bit. And that's gonna add a little bit of extra smoke, but it don't hurt us. All right, let's get this seared up. Let's get it on here, and we're just gonna push her down. Want a good contact on this. And we're gonna close up the lid and set a timer for 1.5 minutes. It's getting smoky in here. All right, my 1.5 minute timer went off. Let's go ahead and flip it over. And that should be simple. Just get her flipped just like this. I like that crust. It's starting to crust on us. That's good. Again, squeeze her in, push her down tight. Now set another 1.5 minute timer. Man, it's getting smoky in this garage, and even got the door open. But it certainly smells delicious, so it's worth a little bit of smoky eye burn. Our 1.5 minute timer went off. Let's go ahead and check it out. We'll grab them off. Oh yeah, that's a great looking sear. I really like the color on it, but first we want to get this fat crisped up a little bit too. So just hold it on there. So this Wagyu cowboy cut is done. I'll meet you by the cutting board in about 5 minutes. This 100% Wagyu cowboy steak is rested for 5 minutes. It's time to slice them up. We'll just do the easy part and follow right along across the bone. Set that off to the side. Oh yeah, that's looking good. Just gonna cut right through the eye here, and we'll check it out. Oh, perfect. Wow. Nice and red. Looks good. Crazy juicy and moist for sure. We can even take a piece and just slice it right here, just like that. Right down. Wow. This is gonna get a little messy on the cutting board. We'll try this piece first. Wow. That 48-hour salt brine, I'm telling you, it's worth it. Obviously, if you can handle the weight. Let's get a little bit of this spinalis, cut some of this off. You know for a fact this is gonna be dynamite. Wow. So much beefy flavor, tender and crazy moist. And the grill grates gave us a pretty good sear. Now obviously the lumberjack pellets gave us a really good smoky flavor too. But that's so good I have to have another one. And a big, huge thank you to Draft Family Farm for bringing over this fresh cut Wagyu cowboy steak. I mean, just look at that. Gosh. And if you're looking to get your very own Wagyu cut, check the links below. That'll send it over to him. Oh, for sure. Nathan's gonna be pissed that he left early when I was cooking this one. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and become a subscriber. Turn on that notification bell because, well, you don't want to miss my next video. You don't. And yeah, the background is different in the cook on this one. Wait till you see what I've done next. It's looking pretty fancy. But I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next video.